Verse 50. Sri Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram. Swapanaha Swavasho Vyapi Naikatma Naika Karma Kut Vatsaro Vatsalo Vatsi Ratnagarbho Dhaneshwaraha. This verse also has 5 names in first line, 5 in second line. Together there are 10 names in this verse. Swapanaha Swavashaha Vyapi Naikatma Naikakarma Krut Vatsaraha Vatsalaha Vatsi Ratnagarbhaha Dhaneshwaraha. Swapanaha means stupefying, one who puts people to sleep. He is considered stupefying. Lord Vishnu has for himself Maya. He has the Maya Shakti with which he wields all individuals. This Maya Shakti is also one of his self expressions as Ishvara. By wielding all individuals, he is able to render them ignorant of their own true divine nature. The wielding power called Avarna Shakti creates many agitations known as Vikshepa, because of which individuals rush out for sense gratification. They forget their true self. They forget their identity with the Supreme Being. They wrongly identify themselves with the body, and they think they are living only for sense satisfaction, sense gratification, for obtaining the sense objects. Since the Lord, with his Maya Shakti, Maya power, deludes everybody, he gathers to himself this epithet, this name, Swapanaha, which means the mighty, stupefying force. This Maya power is so powerful that Lord Krishna himself says in verse 14 of chapter 7 that this divine illusion of his is very difficult to cross over. And this divine illusion of Maya is made up of the 3 gunas. But he also assures us, thus, those who seek him sincerely, devotedly, with all faith, will be able to cross this illusion. The verse reads like this: Daivi hi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam eva e prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. दैवी हेषा गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्यया मायैव ममैव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायाम एताम तरन्ति ते. The Supreme is able to do all this because he is supremely, totally independent. Swavashaha, totally independent. He is not under anybody's control. Nobody is guiding him. He is his own supreme boss. He is his own personal control. Since he is the supreme consciousness, all living creatures and all phenomenal powers, all powers of nature are functioning under his grace. These phenomenal powers are denoted by various smaller deities like Varuna, Vayu, Indra, Yama. All these Agni, all these function only under his grace, deriving their power, drawing their capacity from him. They exist only because of this. The moment he withdraws his patronage, his grace, everything in this universe will come to a total standstill. It will stop functioning immediately. The Paramatma, that's why it's called Paramatma, is supremely independent, as though the world of objects needs him. He needs no world for his existence. He is entirely self sufficient. He is totally free. That is why he is a giver. He does not take anything. He does not want any offerings. We are doing that only for our satisfaction. For example, the waves need the ocean, but the ocean is totally independent of the waves' existence. It does not need the waves. The waves need the ocean. Being totally independent, the Supreme Being pervades throughout the universe. Vyapaka Shakti. He's called Vyapi. Vyapi is all pervading. All pervading. Pervasiveness indicates subtlety. One which is gross is limited to time and space. One which is purely subtle is not confined, is beyond the limitations of time, space, and causation. The Supreme is subtler than the subtlest. The subtlest, imagine, among the Panchabhutas also is Akasha, space. He is subtler than space. Now, he is the supreme cause. The cause always pervades all the effects. For example, gold pervades all the ornaments. There can be no ornament without gold, but gold does not depend on the ornaments. Gold is pervading ornaments. The entire universe is an effect, and he is the one and only supreme cause. So he pervades all and everything at all times. Being all pervading, he is the ultimate cause. He himself, in his pervasiveness, in his over pervasiveness, supreme pervasiveness, all pervasiveness, is ever present, everywhere, and in everything, presiding over all behaviors, all attitudes, all actions, all words, all thoughts of all individuals, everywhere in the entire universe. This is the true meaning of all pervasiveness. He is all pervasive and he becomes manifest in any number of forms. Again, he is not limited to any form or any name. Names and forms are irrelevant for him. He prevails everywhere. So he is called Na Eka Atma. He is not one Atma. He is not one. Na Eka Atma is Naikatma. He is Naikatma. He is many souled. Actually, he is present in every living being. So everybody's body, every person's hands, eyes, ears are there. So he is Anantatma. He is described as Sahasrapat, Sahasrakshaha, Vishvato Mukhaha. All these epithets and adjectives are used only for this proper purpose. Many soul. The Lord, the infinite, though ever one. He is one and only indivisible one. But he expresses himself as the many while manifesting himself in the form of this universe of names, objects, forms. He is the one great consciousness expressing himself as the creator, the sustainer, and the destroyer or the dissolver as part of the eternal cosmic play. All these therefore are called the cosmic functions creation, sustenance, and maintenance, and destruction or dissolution. These are part of the cosmic play or cosmic dance, represented beautifully by the Tandava Nritya of Nataraja. The great Paramatma Tattva appears as the Trinity also. That's why the same Paramatma appears as Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, and also their consorts Saraswati, Lakshmi, Parvati. So these are not different, they are only aspects, they are only forms, and we are up to us to choose a form of our choice and worship the Supreme in that particular form. He becomes manifest in many forms, and manifesting in many forms, he performs many actions. Logical corollary to the previous name is the next name. Naikatma, Naika Karma Krut. Naika, again, Na Eka Karma Krut. Doer of not one actions, doer of many actions. the one who does many actions related to creation, preservation, and dissolution of the universe. As part of preservation, he has to do lot of activities which are mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, very popular verse. So we keep on repeating again and again. The three aspects of preservation are Paritranaya Sadhunam, Vinashaya Dushnutam, Dharma Samsthapanarthaya. All these three are integral to the provision of the preservation or maintenance of the universe and universal law. He is the one Lord of all. He is the one. He is the one who enables all activities to be performed by all the beings. Without his presence, no activity can ever take place. Now, being all pervasive, now coming to a micro aspect, looking at the individual beings, we can say, being all pervasive, he becomes the abode of all. Vatsaraha, abode of all. All the living beings live in him, they exist in him. The Lord also lives in each individual being. The universe is in him, and he is in the universe. The Lord is living in each one of us as our inner soul. We call it Antaryami. He is also the all pervading essence in which the entire universe exists. He alone is the abode of the creatures. He is the endless time and the infinite space. Time and space are two dimensions in which the universe exists. Time means stretching into the distant past and going into the distant future. Space, as we know, is unlimited. Even today's scientists, despite so many advances, they are not able to find the beginning of space or end of space. However, millions and billions of light years they are able to see through microscope, they find it is expanding, expanding. So we say the space appears to be infinite. Similarly, time also is infinite, stretching back endlessly and also stretching forward endlessly. So he himself embodies both these concepts of endless time and infinite space, within which all the beings exist. So every being exists only in this time space dimension. Vatsaha in Sanskrit also means Vatsaraha can therefore also denote Lord Krishna, who gave away all the calves to the Gopas when they were taken away by Maya. When Brahma takes away all the calves, Krishna manifests himself as all the calves and satisfies the Gopas that nothing is missing. The Supreme Being has extreme affection for all the beings. Vatsalaha, affectionate, supremely affectionate. He loves his devotees extremely. The Lord has got more affection towards devotees than all the paternal and maternal love in the world put together. Vatsalaha means one having supreme love. God is the personification of genuine love and affection. Whenever we see this love and affection being bestowed by anybody on anyone, it only means it is a divine attribute. It is only one more manifestation of the Supreme Being. Vatsa means actually the calf. We all know how much affection a cow has for its calf. Paramatma is like this. Actually, this is symbolism of Gopala Krishna, Lord Krishna, being shown with cows and calves around. He is taking care. He is like the mother cow taking care of all the calves around. He is taking care of all of us like a motherly, affectionate cow. He takes care not only as a mother cow, but he takes care all the beings like an affectionate father. Vatsi. Vatsi means father. One who has infinite number of children is Vatsi. For the Lord considers all the human beings, all living beings as his own children. He nurses and nourishes them. He takes care of them. He understands their desires. He listens to their desires. He finds their requirements. Even without asking, he is satisfied. It's only because of Paramatma grace we are able to breathe. We get something to eat. We get something to drink. Only because he has provided those resources without which we cannot survive. Now, for taking care of devotees, he he should have everything with him. He is like the ocean with pearls, full of pearls. Ratna Garbhaha. Ratna Garbhaha means jewel wound. In his belly, all wealth, all possible wealth is there, with which all the requirements of all individuals can be met. So it is compared with the sea, vast sea, which is having untold wealth within the within itself. So, like the ocean, he has rich wealth concealed in himself. Ratnagarbha means that Lord is quick in his bestowing all desired objects of his devotees. As such, there is no dearth of wealth with him. He is Dhaneshwaraha. He is Lord of all wealth. Lord of all wealth. Dhaneshwaraha. Wealth means all the good things in the universe, not just not just gold or silver or diamond. All good things in the universe, all the objects of happiness, whatever object, whatever person, whatever being we feel necessary for our happiness is part of our wealth. So this wealth again is personified by the Supreme Being. Mahavishnu is described as the Lakshmipati, the Lord of Mahalakshmi, the goddess of wealth. The goddess of Lakshmi Devi is always with the master of wealth. He is Dhaneshwaraha. So Lakshmi Devi is always shown in the bosom of Mahavishnu. She never leaves Mahavishnu because he is the Lord of wealth. The greatest wealth, of course, is liberation, moksha. Lord Narayana is the Ishvara, and he is the one who can give us this wealth also, wealth of liberation. He can give us. So he blesses the true devotees with experience of complete liberation from all entanglements, all sorrows which are associated with the vestures of matter, that is we, what we think is a body. So these are the bondages, these are the entanglements. He frees us from this and takes us, merges us in himself. He is Dhaneshwaraha. Om Sarvesham Swastirbhavatu सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः